Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is Said gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Back it out.
Look at this deep three.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is Said gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Back it out.
Look at this deep three.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
Coaching carousel spinning, and dudes are getting on and off pretty quickly. Where's the next stop, and is it in Las Cruces? Good morning to you. There's a lot of news down. Well, not news. There's a lot of whispering coming out of there that's getting to be a bit of a murmur, that's getting to be a little louder about a new New Mexico State coach. This coming after Rick Pitino gets a 6-year deal at St. John's yesterday. 6 years. 70-year-old at 6 years. I mean, God bless him. I think that's wonderful. Ed Cooley goes from Providence to a conference road down the road to Washington, D.C. to go to Georgetown. Will the Aggies soon have a head coach? There's a name that feels like it's emerged as a favorite, at least in a whole lot of reports. Good morning to you. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Bucks back from his Northwest adventure. How you doing?
What's up?
How was beautiful Seattle, the Emerald City?
Almost great.
Almost great. Well, yeah, you had a hell of a game. Lowell women lose in the second round of the NIT to the University of Washington, 67-56. And so their season ends. You were up going into the fourth quarter. Pretty good performance. What was the feeling afterwards?
Disappointment, but you could tell that there's still a sense of pride with the way they came together over the last few days.
Playing without the Duff sisters and two of their leading scorers, two of their best players, they go to the second round of the WNIT. So we'll get into women's basketball because there's a lot there. What do you think of Seattle? Beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
Was it clear?
It was.
When that place is clear, it's about as beautiful as there is. It's just blue and greens. Now, it's not clear all the time, especially this time of year. But if you could see Mount Rainier and off in the distance, and it's about as beautiful a city as there is.
Yeah, it was short. It's trip when it comes to how long we were there, but just quickly getting over to the campus and see how everything compact.
Yeah.
And where the football stadium is right there with basketball and everything. Very unique setting.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
It was nice.
Good spot. All right. I don't know how much you buy into this, but there's a lot of talk now. The people who are covering New Mexico State closely. There was a plane. We talked about this. Hey, Marie, good morning to you, by the way.
Good morning.
We talked yesterday about how there was that plane registered to New Mexico State that was in Huntsville, Texas, where Sam Houston State is. And that the head coach at Sam Houston, Jason Hooten, has emerged as the favorite for the New Mexico State job. Now, why Jason Hooten? And he's not been named the head coach. There's obviously a lot to do, but there's some reports saying it's just a matter of paperwork. I don't know, and I can't get anybody to confirm or deny it, but. According to KTSM, television station in El Paso, who covers New Mexico State fairly closely, that Hooten is one of a few candidates who was interviewed by New Mexico State. And every coach that NMSU has identified as a possibility during the cycle is a former Division I head or a current head coach Division I. Dave Rice's name has been in there. It's interesting, right? We talk about the resources. We always hear how they don't have resources. And I was reading a story yesterday on this Sam Houston site, and why would he go there? And they were talking about it's again, it's perspective, man. But it was talking about the resources and what Sam Houston is able to do and what New Mexico State can do, and the difference in budget. That New Mexico State's got a $3.1 million basketball budget, and at Sam Houston State, the men's, the women's, and the men's and women's basketball team and the volleyball team all have to share the same court. They don't have practice, like a dedicated practice facility like they do at New Mexico State. The budget, what they're able to pay them, it's really perspective. Both these teams are going to Conference USA, right? They're rivals now in the WAC. They're going to Conference USA. I don't know that this sounds like a one of those wow moves that I think Aggie fan was hoping for and expecting. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not exactly even sure how I feel about it. 13 years or whatever it's been at Sam Houston State, and no NCAA tournaments, but runs a good program. Players seem to love him.
Yeah, and this, I think it was a frustrating and challenging position for New Mexico State fans because they still feel that despite everything that went on, this would be a great job for someone to take right now. Like, we're New Mexico State. We won a game in the NCAA tournament. We ran the WAC conference for how long? Now we're going to Conference USA, and we're going to be that much better. And it's definitely not as simple as that right now. And this is kind of what we were discussing, is what direction were they going to go? And it felt like it had to be a safer hire right now, just get someone in there, get things back on track. But what you're discussing about Sam Houston State, that's really interesting, because what we heard from a lot of these Texas schools is when they started making the jump and attacking with football and wanting to change conferences, that there was a lot of investment into the athletic department. But did that just mainly go towards the football programs? Because I think what you said caught a lot of people off guard, like, oh, New Mexico State better off financially than Sam Houston State? Mm-hmm. Apparently so.
Yeah. Look, there's always, it's all perspective, right? If you're going to talk about schools in the Mountain West or even New Mexico for that matter, and their budget and what they can spend on basketball and what their situation is, it's different as opposed to Sam Houston State. And if you're Jason Hooten, why would you be looking at it? Well, I mean, we're going to the same league, and we're they got better resources. Where am I better positioned to be successful, right? And so I don't know where this goes. I don't, it might happen today, but there's a lot of noise. The Huntsville, I don't know if it's Huntsville, what's Item Online? It's a paper that covers them, but just a little bit of background. Like Hooten has been at Sam Houston since 2011. So that's 13 years. 261 and 160. Good, not, I don't know, great. 154 and 70 in conference play. Most of that was in the Southland. They were in the WAC the last couple of years. The WAC's been tougher, and everything you read, it's about the little financial support. So here's what their budget is, okay? And 2 years in the WAC, they lost 9 games. I mean, 2 years in conference games, you lose, so 4.5 losses a year. That's pretty good, right? Well, Jeff, it's only the WAC. Well, in whatever league. Their budget was under $840,000. It went up to $842 this year, so they increased to $2,500. Okay, just for comparison, and this is why would he be considering going from Sam Houston State to New Mexico State? JJ, the basketball budget where he is now is $842,000. The basketball budget at New Mexico State is just under $3.3 million. And what does that mean? You make more, obviously. You pay your assistants more, but you can do more, right? You can do a lot more. Now he's making $232,000 salary now. Greg Heyer made $300,000 in base salary. He's going to make more. Does it make sense? I mean, it does, right? If you're
it does, absolutely.
Yeah, he's a Texas guy, so we'll see. There's a lot of other names that have been up for this job, and I don't even know if Dave Rice interviewed or if Dave Pilipovich interviewed or whomever it was. But it sounds like New Mexico State might be getting close. So if you're interested in it, and I know there's a lot of Aggie fan out there, I'd love to hear your thoughts on where this is going. Does this work for you? Does this work for you? Is this where you want to go? Not that you have a say, but how do you feel about it? Because, JJ, I think you're right. I think a lot of Aggie fans feel that this is still that program. This is still that program. And this is going to be a rebuild because you got to knock it down to the studs and start all over. So we're going to go there, and as this goes, I get you as much information as I can. I got some correspondence out today trying to find out, verify some stuff, but we'll find out where we go. We'll get into Rick Pitino's contract. We'll get into Ed Cooley and the whole coaching carousel. Hey, Marie, we're going to give away some tickets to Ty Murray coming up at 7:43. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Ty Murray Invitational's in town. I heard Ty's coming in by the studio on Friday.
Awesome.
Did you see that? Because, when we had him on the air the other day, he said he's coming by. Not that he's too big for his britches, as he said. So he'll be by 7:43. Be on the lookout. You can get a couple of tickets to go see the Ty Murray Invitational. When we return, pro days are going. Auburn's going to have their pro day, their football pro day. That's where their prospects perform, work out for all the pro scouts, right? Wait till you hear what former Heisman Trophy winner is going to work out for the pros and the scouts at their pro day. Wow. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Amory on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal.
how wrestling really works. And
we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what?
Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle.
NFL draft is going to be next month. Getting closer to later this month, aren't we? NFL draft is going to be next month, and you've got pro days. So what are pro days? You hear about them all the time. Maybe you've never been to one. What are pro days? That is when schools, UNM has them, have a day. They say, all right, our pro day is going to be on this date, on Tuesday or whatever. And the pro scouts come out, and they get to see all of the prospects from that school work out. They get to sit down with them. They get to time them. They get to just work them out, right? Sounds makes it efficient. Auburn's got their pro day coming up. Did you see who's going to be in their pro day? It's a Heisman Trophy winner. Well, that makes sense, Jeff. No, their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback should be in their in a pro day. Yeah, they're 32-year-old Heisman Trophy. What? Cam Newton's going to pro day. Cam Newton is convinced that he should be back in the NFL. The former Heisman Trophy winner put out a video yesterday, and basically he said, tell me how these randoms keep getting jobs. Talk about other quarterbacks. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you. I can't wait to show you. And he said, ain't 32 quarterbacks better than me? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Is Cam Newton still – what do you think? I mean, is
Cam Newton is at the point of his career that everyone screams about that Lamar Jackson and other running quarterbacks will get to. Well, he's not a passer, so he can't mainly get it. He's 34 years old. So how is he supposed to use his athleticism?
34. Sorry, I said 32, and I apologize.
How is he supposed to be a difference maker if that's not who he is? I think this will be very intriguing just to see where he is physically. Because Cam Newton for 3 or 4 games doesn't sound that bad to me with some of these back quarterbacks that are in the NFL. And the thing is, it's with any of these guys that have tasted success, and Cam Newton has tasted it at the highest level. NFL MVP, Super Bowl appearance, Heisman Trophy winner, drafted high. It's different than some of these other guys we're talking about that haven't had that type of success in their career, but have been drafted highly. The Baker Mayfield, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, guys like that are bouncing all around. Who is he at this point in time? I know he has that confidence in himself, and he's looking around the league going, these scrubs, I can play.
Right.
But if you go into a locker room, are you okay with being the veteran backup? Are you okay with knowing that you're not going to be signed by one of these teams to be the guy? Like, if they bring you in, they want to see leadership. They trust you in short spurts, but there's no way that anyone's trusting you for 17 games.
So he's 34 years old. He didn't play last season. He's a free agent.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if he's a free agent.
Yes, he is a free agent, right? Nobody's got his rights.
He was working out at the pro day.
Yeah, he was released by whomever it was that had him. Quote, if you think I couldn't be on somebody's team right now, you're a damn fool. He was on the Pivot podcast, which is Ryan Clark's. Right? 34 years old, didn't play a game last season. Spent the final 8 games of the 2021 season with the Panthers. That was when Sam Darnold went down. Was he that good? I mean, he wasn't that good. I don't even think he's claiming he's that good. Basically, what he's saying is, I'm better than some of the slop that's out there, right? Is that what he's telling me?
Yes.
Okay. Is he? And if you're an organization and you're in that market, so you're in put whoever you want in that market, right? Do you want young? I don't like using the word slop. That's the wrong word. But if you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, right? Is that kind of where we are here? When we're talking about, we're talking about backup quarterback, are we not? Are you trying to convince me that he's a starter? All right, so we're in the backup quarterback market. Do you want a 34-year-old guy who's been a starter, who's been an MVP, who's been to a Super Bowl? That sounds good to be my backup. Or do you want a guy like Brock Purdy? What do you want?
Well, even look, like Andy Dalton is going to be the backup quarterback in Carolina. He's 35.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about attitude than
Case
anything with
Keenum and the Texans, Jacoby Brissett, the Commanders. We can go down the list.
I think your first two with who'd you just tell me?
Andy
Dalton
Dalton
and Case Keenum?
Yeah.
I think those are good comparisons to him, don't you?
I'm not saying play wise. It's just like, okay, do you want to be one of those guys?
I would tell you play wise.
Yeah. Like you'd want them at.
Well,
as
I
your
mean,
backup
I would tell you is we're talking about the same quality quarterback right now, are we not?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is about attitude.
Yeah, totally.
Not. It's
actual play.
Who's Cam Newton going to be on the team? Everyone has that confidence, but is he really going to come in thinking he's going to be starting quarterback for 17 games and lead a team to playoffs? If that's the case, I'm not going to sign you as a backup quarterback because he ain't that dude anymore, Cam.
I mean, Joe Flacco's 38 and the backup for the Jets. I mean,
that has nothing to do with age; it's attitude.
Yeah,
Joe
I think
Flacco knows
JJ's
who
right.
he is.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton, they all know who they are.
I think JJ's
Cam
100%
Newton know who
right.
he is now.
Look, as much, and we've had this conversation now for 10 years, and this goes all the way back to Colin Kaepernick, right? But even before that, there's enough noise on a damn football team. I don't need it coming from my backup quarterback. Okay, right. And I know we differed on opinion when we had this before, you and I, but there's not a coach in the world who wants drama from his backup quarterback. And to your point, that's why Joe Flacco's there. That's why Andy Dalton's there. That's why Case Keenum's there. They know their role. They know what they are. They know they're there to support. They know they're there to step in and try to win a football game if the main guy goes down, and they know they're not the guy. And I'm not sure. Now maybe he is. Do you think Cam Newton's that guy? You think Cam Newton's going to know his role? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I ask you: would you want a veteran like him, or a guy who, like Brock Purdy, who knows his role, right? So when he was last time out, he won his first start for the Patriots.
I think that's a hard comparison, though.
What is?
Brock, of course, he's the 7th last pick in the draft. He knows his role.
Yeah, but that's what a backup quarterback is, right?
But now he's the starting quarterback for the 49ers.
Now he is. Well, maybe. Newton had, 8 touchdown passes, 10 interceptions. He re-signed after the season. He was released at the end of training camp. That's when New England went with Mac Jones last year. This is what happened, according to him. According to Cam, quote, "It was just brain overload. It was times I was going to the line and I'm still thinking, do I know it? Yes, to the degree that I needed to know it to show the world that I'm still Cam Newton. No, but I put myself in that situation." This is, JJ, I don't disagree with you. I'm going to guess, and I haven't seen Cam Newton, but I know what Cam Newton was. I'm going to guess Cam Newton physically is still at a point where he probably can go out and be a serviceable backup quarterback. When you look around the league and say, what's the backup quarterbacks in the league? Is he as good as some of those guys? I'm going to guess he probably is, right? I don't know who the Rams' backup quarterback is. It was Baker Mayfield. Now it's not. Is he as good as Baker Mayfield right now? But to your point, man, this is to me a lot about attitude. What do you make of him then saying, all right, I'm going to go to pro day?
I like it.
I kind of do too.
Absolutely. Go out there, show your physical ability. And the thing with Cam Newton, he's one of those guys that I bet the perception of him is a complete 180 from the way we talk about Cam Newton. From all the people, we're playing Monday morning or Tuesday morning GM now, and the attitude, we wouldn't want that guy on his team. But I bet if you pull NFL players, a lot of them like Cam Newton. And so these are always the interesting dynamics of these conversations of where it's going to go. And that's where I went to, is his mindset, his attitude, looking at it from, front office perspective versus guys in a locker room. Sure, all of them would actually sign up to have Cam Newton on their team.
This is I'm wondering about the pro day. Does he take away from any of the other guys at Auburn? Because all the attention goes to him. The pros, the scouts are going to still go there and see who they want to see. Get done what they want to get done, right?
Yeah, if you're scouting Auburn's pro day, you know what you're there for. You're not there to over-scout Cam Newton.
Yeah, I think that's right. All right, this is interesting to me, and I'm going to watch this, and because it really is interesting to me. More football when we return. Shuffling of running backs in the NFC East. What that means to the power structure in the NFC or in the AFC East. Then coming up at 7:43, we got 2 tickets to give away. You're going to get a chance to go see the Ty Murray Invitational at the Pit. 9 o'clock this morning, by the way, we're going to talk a little baseball. We are 2 weeks from today away from the Isotopes home opener. I was out at the ballpark yesterday. A lot going on up there. Jordan Pacheco, the former Lobo, the former La Cueva Bear, the former big leaguer who is now their batting coach, is going to join us from spring training this morning at 9 o'clock. Looking forward to talking a little baseball on the day of the World Baseball Classic final. And 2 weeks away. So that's coming up. At 7:43, we're going to give away those tickets to go see the Ty Murray Invitational. IPS watches my home every day. Every single day. You see them out there every day. Well, they stop by my house every day because I've trusted them for years to protect my home, my family. My neighbors love them. In fact, my neighbors on both sides decided that they're going to become clients as well. There was, why for me? You know, there was a home invasion of somebody close, and it's pretty scary stuff, and it wasn't far from home. And, you know, the property crime's on the rise, and good guys are on the decrease in numbers. And so IPS is just that added layer of highly trained armed guards, 24-hour patrols. It's private security, and it's affordable private security. Look, you've worked hard to build your business, to build your home, your family. What's it worth, right? Do what you can to protect them. Every layer of protection is vital. That's why I called IPS. They come by every day, and when I'm gone, when I travel, they come by and pick up newspaper, mail, roll garbage cans to the curb and back. A garbage day, and then if you get a package delivered, they'll pick it up, drop it off for you when you get back. Call them and see what they can do for you. IPS is protecting hundreds of homes and businesses all over the Burque. They can help you as well. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do.
Text line 505. I guess I should give out numbers today. 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us. 377 Brewery Hotline and our text line. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. You're in on Cam Newton, said he's never read defense in his life, and now the physical abilities that he had put him above other players aren't there anymore. I bet $100 right now that he can't. Newton has never studied for a defense in his life. He's asking a team to take a flamboyant, aged, and overconfident player. Okay. Yeah, he might be. He might be.
See, that's exactly what I was talking about.
The perception of him?
There's no way you win an NFL MVP never setting a defense. Yes, his athleticism is very nice. The dude knows what he's doing to be an NFL quarterback.
I think that's probably right.
We're calling him Peyton Manning, Tom Brady? No.
I think.
But there's that perception
that he was lazy, that he.
And that's why it is a complete 180 from the discussion that people will be having about this story on the outside versus the way NFL players feel about him.
Well, and this is where relationships come in, right? And I don't know what coaches are there that he's played for, that, what quarterback coach he had along the way, or who knows what, or, that whole story. But if somebody says, that's not right, and actually Cam works hard, and this is what he did when he was with us, and I know if you give him a chance, and if he understands he's coming in to back up Calvin Ridley, or not Calvin Ridley, what's my guy? Calvin Ridley. What's my guy in Atlanta? What's our quarterback? Desmond Ritter. Calvin Ridley. What am I new? Right? Or right, if he goes there, or if he,
A lot of it is system based. Yeah. Exactly to your point. Like, what are they doing in Atlanta? They want to run the football. They want to limit what they're giving to their quarterback, and that would lean to someone like Cam Newton, if you're like in this situation.
Right. Or I don't know what they're going to do in Carolina. I have no idea. Right. Or Tampa Bay, for that matter. Right. Where there's
probably won't see him back in Carolina.
Yeah, that's probably right. Do you bring him to a situation where, if he gets a chance, do you bring him into a situation where the quarterback it's unstable, like some of those places, where they're just waiting, the fan base is just waiting for the new young quarterback to fail and go to Cam? Or do you put him in a situation where it's way more stable, where he is obviously the backup quarterback, meaning you put him, let's just say Dallas, Dak's the guy, or Philly, where
because I got Cooper Rush. Don't mess with Cooper Rush.
Fair enough, they just re-signed him. Or where Jalen Hurts is the guy, or Cleveland, where obviously Deshaun Watson is the guy. Do you put him in one of those situations where it's more stable at quarterback, or is he better in a place where, Tampa, they just signed Baker Mayfield? Well, that's a competition, damn it. Atlanta, you got the rookie or the second-year guy. You're going to have a rookie in Carolina. Obviously, he's not going back there. What of those to Houston, right? What's better for him?
Kind of feels like his path back would be Atlanta, maybe even like a Tennessee.
Vegas behind Jim Garoppolo.
When he was in New England, was Josh McDaniels?
Yeah.
OC. Okay.
Yeah. So
but that's more of a Bill Belichick thing. Bill Belichick has always had a fascination with Cam Newton.
Yeah, and I have no idea what Josh McDaniels felt about him, other than he had to coach him. I have no idea. But that's where I think there's going to be if there's a path back for him, it's going to be a coach who said, no, he was really good with us. And if that coach sits down with him and says, all right, so you understand you're coming in as a backup, right? That's our guy. Can you handle that? Can you shut your mouth and be a backup? Because I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I think the last thing any football team needs is noise from the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
No, I just don't know that a lot of teams are going to put up with that. What backup quarterback is good enough that you're going to put up with a whole lot of noise from them?
And what type of noise are we talking about?
Well, I don't know, right? I don't know.
Just a confident guy that wants to play.
Is it noise that I should be playing? I'm better than him and I should be playing.
Shouting down who's ever in front of him, then you got a problem.
Yeah, then you got a problem. All right, there's a little running back shuffle in the AFC East. So the Bills lose Devin Singletary. He signs a deal with the Texans, and they almost immediately, very, very quickly, replace him with a guy in division. They come to terms with now former Patriots running back Damian Harris. Harris was a third-round pick in 2019. 4-year, pretty good run with the Patriots. Not great. This is a it feels like a good plug-in for what the Bills do because it's about Josh Allen. Their running game is about Josh Allen. But if they can get a stud running back in there, and they've been by committee, right? If they can get a guy that they can just rely on, Ramondre Stevenson will continue to be the guy up in New England. He came on last year. But I think Damian Harris
is better than Devin Singletary.
Is he, or is it a situation
Better.
thing? Okay.
They also have Naeem Hines and James Cook with Buffalo. Are you talking about Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We saw Hines, his gigantic special teams contributions.
Which is big. It was a great trade for them. Just a great trade for them.
Harris is a bigger back, and can actually have the guy, 12, 15 carries a game because they haven't committed to anyone. And I think Harris can be much more powerful back than Devin Singletary.
He catches the ball in the backfield too, doesn't he?
We'll see if they give him the opportunity. It comes down to some of these guys that don't give him the opportunity.
Yeah, Hines
the
does
way
too if they would give him the opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, Hines just mainly just when he went to Buffalo, he just kind of became the special teams guy, which is fine because he was.
Yeah, but his role in Indy, right? He was really good out of the backfield, was he not on third down?
He was.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the running back room. There's nothing that jumps off the table to you, and it's not a fantasy football running back room, but it doesn't need to be for them. This works really well for them. I like what they've done there.
They're a team that it feels like they're at the point of they could splurge a little bit at running back.
Okay.
To try to give them a different look, take a little bit off the plate of Josh Allen because you don't want to take away who he is. Josh Allen, by the way, you got to talk about him like we do Lamar Jackson and stuff, man.
I agree.
Like he runs a lot, and everyone's scared of Lamar Jackson.
You know why though? Because he hasn't been hurt yet.
Yeah, but
that's why
it's going to happen.
I agree with you, but that's why that conversation isn't happening yet because it hasn't happened.
Cam Newton was a big dude.
Yeah,
the NFL still got,
and he got broke too. No, I think it's going to happen.
That's
too.
the one team where could they get in the mix? Maybe a Bijan Robinson, somehow, some way. First round.
So would they trade all the way up? You think he goes top 10, top 15, right?
Like that's the kind of team that you're looking at going, okay, we'll take the shot. Because there was a lot of noise last year when Christian McCaffrey hit the block. People were saying, man, put him in Buffalo. Put him in Buffalo. They're kind of at that point.
I was kind of the favorite, wasn't it? I think San Francisco just kind of came out of nowhere when the Christian McCaffrey trade went down. It was absolutely put him in Buffalo. It was all about, where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? And it should be Buffalo. And then all of a sudden it came out of there. So I agree with you on Josh Allen. I think at some point that's what happens. These running quarterbacks get broken. The reason we're not having the conversation is not because he's bigger or what. It's because he hasn't yet been hurt, right? He hasn't missed games because of it, correct? Where Lamar Jackson has over the last 2 years, right? Will it happen? I got to believe it will because every running quarterback kind of gets hit, gets broken at some point. Did Lamar get hurt in the pocket or running? He got hurt in the pocket, didn't he? Remember Danny Gonzalez telling us this, and we went back and looked at it, and he was right, the Lobo football coach, that when we were talking about Lobo quarterbacks getting hurt and everybody was yelling, well, when you run these quarterbacks all the time, they get hurt, and all of them had gotten hurt in the pocket. They didn't get hurt running. They got hurt being a quarterback throwing. Will he? I imagine. But yeah, I think that's where the narrative comes from. It is there. So we're coming up right on draft day, about a month away now, and so that's getting closer and closer and closer. Welcome back, JJ. It says, are you taking requests? What could have ever led him back to the OD where we need him? And he sent us a song. It's nice if people are sending you songs, isn't it? Get a little welcome back.
Welcome back.
I think that's the song, in fact, that they sent for you. All right, we're going to give away tickets to go see Ty Murray here just in a moment, but I want to tell you about the best jeweler, period. And when you're ready for an engagement ring, when you're ready to make that move, and you're looking for that perfect, beautiful custom ring, do yourself a favor and go to John Thomas Jewelers. You got to want to get to John Thomas Jewelers. You're not going to stumble across them in a mall, and you're not going to just buy something out of a case. But when you get there, you're going to realize why they make more custom jewelry in a week than most jewelers do in a year. And it's affordable. If you can dream it, they can make it. It's all done right here in Albuquerque. So they don't have to send their custom pieces out somewhere to be made. And that's why it is so much more affordable than you'll ever think. And the whole process is wonderful. You walk in this beautiful, beautiful showroom, this beautiful store, and they'll show you all these different bands and options and sizes of stones and shapes and colors, and they'll work it out for you. By the time you're done, you're going to have the perfect ring designed, and she's going to love it forever. And it's not just engagement rings. Whatever it is you're looking for, fine jewelry, John Thomas Jewelers is your spot. I walked through the whole place. I was amazed. I literally never seen anything like it, certainly not here in New Mexico. When you're ready to go, this is the spot. It's the third floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal, right across from the Coronado Mall. John Thomas Jewelers is the only master IJO certified jeweler in Albuquerque. They offer you a lifetime free nationwide warranty. Makes them the only jeweler in town that does that. They're the only preferred jeweler in town. John Thomas Jewelers. Visit them online at johnthomasjewelers.com or go see them on the third floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal across from the Coronado Mall. If you can dream it, John Thomas Jewelers can make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
At the Pit. Ty Murray's going to be here on Friday. 505-246-0610. Call now. Caller number 10. Hey, Marie wants to work. Caller number 10 right now at 505-246-0610. And you will win tickets to go see the Ty Murray Invitational this weekend, courtesy of The Sports Animal. The Sports Animal text line is open for you at 505-246-0610. Same line. If you can get through. All right. We've been talking coaching a little bit in college basketball. Talked a little bit about the New Mexico State position. Here's what I got for you on the Jason Hooten stories coming out of, he's the coach at Sam Houston State, and there's a bunch of stories that say that he is close to being the New Mexico State head coach, that it's just about a done deal. Here's what I know. I do know that he's a target for sure. And that's confirmed. But the search with some other candidates is ongoing. So I've been told this morning it's not a done deal. He is a target. There's other candidates who are still in the conversation. The search is ongoing, and the intent is to wrap it up soon, whatever soon means, right? That's an Aaron Rodgers term, right?
Yeah.
We'll get this done soon. So that's where that is. Text line says, how does this go? Hi, Candidate X. Do you think you have what it takes to continue our dominance over Dixie State and UTRGV? Yuppers? Okay, you're in. Big shoes to fill. Thank you, Lobo fan. How could a Lobo fan bag on any of those schools after what just happened? I mean, with all due respect.
And that's not the schools they'll be playing, right?
Yeah, they're going into Conference USA. That's FAU. Well, FAU's gone. But, yeah, they're going into Conference USA. I promise you, the Lobo fans go, ooh, Conference USA.
It's a rivalry, Jeff. Yeah. And you're always going to bag on your rivalry regardless.
And I know Lobo fans go, ooh, Conference USA, Jacksonville State, and Kennesaw State. Oh, Kennesaw State. Yeah, they're going in. And Sam Houston and Louisiana Tech and Western Kentucky. And
probably a good thing New Mexico State's getting away from Utah Valley.
Right? That's all I'm saying.
Like, that's a monster now. Watch out. Mark Madsen.
After they beat Colorado 81-69 the other day, they get a home game in the quarterfinals of the NIT tomorrow night. I know. They get Cincinnati going in there. I just
Ogden.
Like love your thing and do your thing. I just after the way you guys ripped, not all of you, some of you Lobo fans ripped on Aggie competition and league, and then the team who won that league that you kind of laughed at and scoffed at came in and beat you by 14 in your building. And I thought you'd give it a minute, but maybe I was wrong.
They will never.
Obviously, never. I was wrong on that. All right, this has been the longest December ever, Jefferson. Didn't the weather dudes tell me yesterday that it was the first day of spring, 25 degrees below normal? Normally, I'm using the AC by now. I'm still running the heat 18 hours a day. Yeah, it's chilly. It's chilly. Had some snow yesterday. You had better weather in Seattle than we had here yesterday, huh?
Yeah. First time we saw rain was Monday morning.
When you got home?
Just leaving.
Yeah.
Leaving Seattle.
Okay.
The wet in the morning.
Yeah, that's how Seattle be.
We got to the hotel about 11:30 Mountain Time Saturday night. Or 12:30 Mountain Time Saturday night.
Okay.
Left the hotel about...
You traveled with the team?
Traveled there with them.
Yeah.
It was a kind of all over the place coming back. Left the hotel about 4:30
a.m.
time.
A.m.?
So it was very short time in Seattle.
Oh, man. Yeah, those hurt. Those hurt. Bruce is in. Jason, no one, it says. Jeff, coming off of Greg dumpster fire, can you think of a less underwhelming hire? Do you mean more underwhelming or less overwhelming? Can I think of a less underwhelming hire? Well, first of all, it's not done yet. I don't know. What was the intent? What would have been for New Mexico State, for this job, for this situation? JJ, what were you expecting? What do you think Aggie fan was expecting on this hire? And it's not done yet. And this Jason Hooten story, and there's other names out there. The Dave Rice one, for some reason, is the one that seems like it's the most interesting to Aggie fans. Maybe I'm wrong. But what were you expecting, right? It was going to be a veteran coach, I think, that has been stable at a program that, yeah, you would have loved for somebody to be a big winner. But if someone's a big winner, they're probably not going to be in a situation to come take over this reboot. I don't know if it's a complete rebuild, but a reboot. Is that fair?
Yeah, because the thing that New Mexico State has that is going to attract coaches even at stable situations. We're discussing Sam Houston State's coach. That's a pretty stable situation. They've allowed him to coach a lot of basketball. He's been there forever, like an assistant coach since the early 2000s before becoming a head coach. Wooten, one of the candidates that we're talking about, is the investment in the basketball program. And that there's support. You've seen the success that can be had. Won an NCAA tournament game at New Mexico State. But some of those, I guess, higher name candidates have come with baggage. And New Mexico State can't be playing that game right now.
So if I tell you guys 261 and 160 in, 12 years, 13 years? You say, all right, that's a decent, that's good. He's 154 and 70 in conference play. All right. And then I kind of give you the resources with which he's working, right? And I put it in perspective for you. This last season, the basketball budget at Sam Houston State was $842,000. They've moved it up $2,500 from the year prior. In comparison, the basketball budget at New Mexico State is reported at $3,286,000. So you're up in it more than 3 times. So what if he was successful there? Well, Jeff, it's Texas and there's more players there. Yeah, but I mean, you're playing in a smaller place with not nearly the fan base. The facilities at Sam Houston State, I was reading a story yesterday that said that the men's basketball team, the women's basketball team, the volleyball team, everything they do, it's all in that one court. Like they have one gym, they have one court. They practice on it. They all share it. Where at New Mexico State, you have practice gym, you have the Pan Am Center. Volleyball, I believe, has their own practice facility, right? And it's kind of crazy that we sit here and talk about, wow, New Mexico State's got way better facilities than them. Because typically when we talk about New Mexico State's facilities, it's what we don't have. Oh, we don't have this and they don't have that, right? It's always the woe is me thing. And now they're kind of, well, they're in a position to take someone else's guy. Conference rival. We just saw a conference team in the Big East, Georgetown, pluck Providence's head coach. Now we're talking the $3+ million salary range as opposed to the $300,000+ salary range. I'm going to tell you, the more you learn about him, you'll probably like him. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know a lot about him. I learned a lot more about him over the last few days. He's from Texas. He went to Tarleton, got a master's there. He's a Texas guy now, right? I mean, if he has success, is he going back to Texas? I don't know, maybe. But he went to Tarleton, Texas, or Tarleton State. He's from Killeen. Like that's his hood. That would mean he should be able to recruit there pretty well, right?
Yeah.
JJ, this feels firm and solid if this is where they go. It feels, and they had to, right? They couldn't go, to your point, like they did with Chris Jans.
It was Chris Jans. And then a lot of it.
Or even Reggie, though.
Yeah, Reggie and players. And a lot of people going, well, why not? Why let one miss change what built up that program?
And that might be your next hire. This one you probably can't, right? This one, somebody's got to come in and be stable. There's going to be scrutiny, and it's a reboot. Like this one's got to be pretty straight-laced. Well, we're not straight-laced, Jeff. Look at what we do with coach. I got it. But I think that's where this one had to go. Now, and that's the mold. I'm not telling you that one's done. I was told this morning it's not a done deal. USA versus Japan, World Baseball Classic final tonight. Japan, how they got there and who's got the edge tonight and why you should care. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul call. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the three. First basket of the night.
To back it out.
Look at this deep three.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a three. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh,
Wow.
he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a three, and that's what he does. A three for Dennerclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a three, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit.
Japan right now, I don't know if that means that's where all the best players come from, but that's who's in the final. I think it's worth caring about because if you like baseball, and we have this conversation a lot, and the baseball's been really good, by the way. The bummer is the injuries, headlined by Jose Altuve breaking his thumb for Venezuela the other day. He's out for 2 months. But it's worth caring about tonight on a Tuesday night before the season starts to take a look at this. You're going to see some good ball.
Yeah, it starts with you can see Mike Trout actually play to win something.
Oh, there's the biggest reason ever. Yes.
See how much he's invested in this. I love the reaction from these players. They bought in. They're all in. Playing for your country means something. And you're seeing it, the passion throughout this tournament. It's been great. And the guys, it's actually still a really good ramp up for the regular season. Most of the guys that are on these rosters, especially on Team USA, you're not too worried about them being ready to play because there a lot of them are name brand household guys. But I am very intrigued to watch this final tonight between these two teams because of the way that the players have embraced World Baseball Classic.
No doubt. And Shohei Ohtani can't pitch tonight, which I think is a big deal. It's been terrific. We're having all kinds of problems over here. Who's on one? And I'll take it. But all right, yeah, I'll go there. All right, yeah, I'm just having all kinds of problems over here. All right, so if you want to get on the World Baseball Classic, we can. We're going to talk baseball at 9 o'clock, and I'm looking forward. Jordan Pacheco is just such a good mind, a local guy who gets it. Played at La Cueva, played for the Lobos, had a terrific Major League Baseball career. It is now the hitting coach for the Isopes. He's going to join us from spring training. Get an idea on what kind of club maybe you can expect to come back. Maybe they're starting to get an idea on what sort of lumber they're going to bring back to the ballpark, and his perspective on the World Baseball Classic. Also talked a lot this morning about coaching in college basketball. Rick Pitino gets a 6-year deal at St. John's. Ed Cooley goes from Providence to Georgetown, and we're talking about the report Jason Hooten, the Sam Houston coach, as the leading candidate. And there's a lot of reports out there now, and I did reach out this morning, and what I can tell you on Jason Hooten to New Mexico State is that Jason Hooten, the Sam Houston State, looks to be the primary target. I can confirm to you that he is their primary target. But there are other candidates where there's mutual interest, whom New Mexico State has interest, and the candidates have interest in New Mexico State. So I will confirm to you that Jason Hooten is the primary target. I can tell you that with confidence. But it's not a done deal. And they say, I'm told it's going to be wrapped up soon, whatever soon is. Wayne, I know you want to talk about that. Good morning, Wayne.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it. I do have some thoughts on the New Mexico State restructure. I really think the restructure is great. I like Conference USA. I like the fact that it's Texas heavy with North Texas, Rice, UTEP, and UTSA.
Hold on. Wait. North Texas is going to the American. UTSA is going to the American. And Rice is going to the American. UTEP is there. It's going to be UTEP and Sam Houston State. Louisiana Tech, Southern Miss is gone. It'll be Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State, and Liberty. Yeah, no, that's the part of this whole restructure. A lot of those schools you said are gone. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, still, I think it's interesting because I like New Mexico teams playing Texas teams. And so in the long run, I do think it's pretty good. There's other advantages that I see to this, not just, the prospective coach, but the fact that they can get a competitive coach to coach down in Mexico State for $300,000 that they're excited about, with a chance to have a winning season and maybe go for a conference title. I think the bottom line is I've always been a fan of the Aggies and the Lobos hitching their wagons together more to get stronger together. And I do think that, possibly we should look at following them into Conference USA if that's a possibility. I do think that, I don't know if you guys are going to like that, so I'm happy to hear your thoughts on it. But I do think that if we could get our coach, if he extends, to be a coach here for $300,000, or better yet, get our next coach in that price range. That would be smart for Albuquerque.
All right. No, Wayne, I appreciate you. Thanks. So let me make sure I understand. Did he just say the Lobos should follow New Mexico State to Conference USA?
Yes.
Okay. No, Wayne, I would say absolutely not. I mean, Conference USA is nice. The Mountain West is a stronger conference than Conference USA. The Lobos, I understand you like playing teams in Texas, and if that's the draw, then I understand why you would say that. The teams who are going to be left in Texas it's just UTEP and Sam Houston, right? Am I missing somebody else in Texas that's staying in that league? There's not, right? No, the Mountain West is inarguably stronger in basketball and a stronger football conference than Conference USA. And so it's when you see the number 300,000, by the way, on a coach's salary, so that's his base salary. His total compensation package probably is going to be worth closer to $6 million with the shoe deal, with the appearance deal, with all the other stuff that's thrown in. You are not going to get. It's funny. I just heard this the other day too. JJ, so Wayne was saying, Lobo's next coach, they should pay $300,000. That'd be great. That's what they should pay a coach. And I was reading something the other day where it's like, you've got to get your coach over $1 million, but there's no way you can be competitive and stay at this. You've got to get him over $1 million, right? And I think Richard Pitino's total package is somewhere in the $850 range, right? But it's going both ways. I mean, to me, the obvious answer is no. You're not following New Mexico State to Conference USA. That's not where you want to be. They'd rather be where you are. Obviously, the Mountain West is a better league. Conference USA basically cobbled it together to stay together, and good for them, and they did. But the answer there is that no, New Mexico's in a better spot. And by the way, coaching salaries are not going to go down to $300,000. They're going to go closer to $1.3 million.
Yes.
It's just the way it is to stay competitive. I see where he's coming from, and I do. And we talk a lot about market value. And why can they do it? Why can Fairleigh Dickinson do what they did with a coach who's making $170,000 or whatever it is? Well, because they're in the Northeast Conference, which is ranked 32nd out of 32 leagues, and they hit lightning in a bottle and won a game, right? You're not Fairleigh Dickinson. You're not getting 800 people a game. You're trying to put 15,000 a game into the arena. You're trying to attract a different kind of a talent. You're trying to play on a different stage all year, not just in March. You're trying to be a program that is consistently in the top 25, that is consistently in the NCAA tournament, not to make a shot once every few years. And at $300,000, the coach, you get what you pay for. And a coach is going to leave you every single year, right? It's just market value is what market value is. Would it be great for your budget if you could pay a coach $300,000? Sure. But that's not the world in which we live. I don't know. You explain it better than me, please.
I don't really think there's anything else to explain in this. The Mountain West for New Mexico is a better path for them. It's a better option right now. Don't need to be going to Conference USA, and that's an entirely different travel budget too than that we're talking about for teams, because this is not just football and basketball that's part of this conversation. They're leading the conversation, but then there are other financial implications that would have for your university.
All over. Yeah. Look, the Lobos are on the right path. And I think the Aggies are on the right path too. The Aggies are moving from the WAC, and what it does for them, it gets football at home because the WAC didn't play football. This was all driven. Them going to Conference USA was driven by football. AJ, is the WAC, is Conference USA, as it will be comprised, do you think it's significantly better basketball-wise than the WAC? You'll have Liberty, who's a tournament team. No, Liberty's an NIT team.
Yeah.
You'll have Kennesaw State, who's an NCAA team. Sam Houston, who's an NIT team. New Mexico State, who's relatively strong. Western Kentucky, who is typically strong. And historically, Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee have been good.
I would have to go side by side, because I think this year, with what we saw from the WAC, it's not an immediate, like, of course, that's that much better basketball.
Well, you would say Grand Canyon, Utah Valley were as good as the Conference USA champion this year was Florida Atlantic.
Yeah.
Right. And they're in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, they had a fantastic season.
By the way, and they're moving to the American as well. They're out, but their units, their share, their money stays with the Conference USA. So the Aggies are benefiting from Florida Atlantic's run. I don't think dramatically. I mean, if you said Utah Valley and Grand Canyon took the top two teams out of Conference USA, I think they'd be really competitive. And if you go down the line and tell me the worst team was New Mexico State, and I know what that program's going to be. I don't know that it's a slam dunk either way, but this was obviously made because now you have a home for football. And that's, look, I'm going to tell you they're both in the right place. Would I love to see New Mexico State selfishly in the Mountain West? Selfishly? Yeah, I would. I would love to see New Mexico State be a rival conference game every year. I think that'd be wonderful. But that's not going to happen, and so this is where we are. But I think they're both in the right spot. All right, when we return, Lamar Jackson's the biggest name on the quarterback market. I don't even know if he's on the market, but he's the biggest name that's uncertain in the NFL quarterback situation. Lamar was caught on tape, or I don't know if it was on tape, saying, yeah, it's going to happen. What's going to happen? And why did he say, wait, that's not what I meant? Lamar making headlines next. Where's he going to be? Year moves along. It's spring. It's raining. It's March. It's almost April. You get everything done that you want to do. Have you taken care of yourself? Don't let taking care of you go undone. Guys, if you're dealing with natural things, fatigue, weight gain, depression, even erectile dysfunction, do yourself a favor and call NewMail. NewMail helps men every day. Thousands of them across the country feel better. They're right here in Albuquerque, and they'll help you deal with these things. You're going to feel better. You're going to perform better. Do yourself a favor. Also now, men and ladies dealing with hair loss, NewMail's your solution. Call them at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at NewMail, NUMALE.com. NewMail's pros walk you through the options, then you'll choose what's best for you. They'll offer you platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep into your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. They'll offer you an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser. It's proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week. And there is no linear scarring. Men, ladies, call NewMail, 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at newmail.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
For the record, Conference USA is Jacksonville State, New Mexico State, Liberty Sam Houston State, UTEP, Kennesaw State, FIU, Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky, and Louisiana Tech. I think the one I left out was FIU, right? But yeah, that's pretty much what I told you. Well, you guys are in on this. So people talking trash about the conference that New Mexico State is in need to just stop. A team from their conference came into the pit and put the smack down on the Lobos. Ain't lying. Am I? Or is he? This one says, all right, here. It's a fair question. I know you both fan bases think it's an easy answer. Which school's basketball team will make the Sweet 16 first, NMSU or UNM? Now, before you say NMSU's already made it, I think they're talking about next first.
Yeah.
I mean, the obvious answer would be?
No. There should be one like, oh, the team that didn't have to shut down their basketball program this year, I might give them the advantage. But, we know.
I would give them the advantage because they don't have to restart, right? They've got a head start. But I'll point it out just because you're going to point it out to me. The team who shut down for COVID got to a bowl game quicker than the team that didn't shut down for COVID, as hard as it was to move to Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? The other team completely shut her down.
And by the way, that's what rivalry smack should be.
That's
because right. Ohio State and Michigan aren't telling each other to stop talking.
No, that's right. That's right.
Poke the bear. And keep poking the bear.
Look, and this bear has been poked so many times now, and because of what's happened this year, this rivalry has gotten less cordial, which many of you like it that way. And I know that's right. Text line says the Lobo texter shows how ignorant Lobo fan is outside of their program. The Aggies will be in Conference USA, who, like the Mountain West Conference, has a team in the Sweet 16, and that team will be leaving for greener pastures like SDSU. Ignorance, thy name is Lobo fan. Okay. This also says, otherwise, which... I'll get there. Okay. All right. Lamar Jackson is the biggest unsettled quarterback name on the market. Is that fair? I don't know if he's on the market. In the NFL, Lamar Jackson, would you say, right? That's the most unsettled quarterback situation? He is franchise tagged by the Baltimore Ravens, but it is the non-exclusive tag, so somebody can come in and create an offer sheet, and then the Ravens would have the opportunity to match that or let him go for 2 first-round picks. And Lamar hasn't said anything much, really. He said he's going to interview himself. Did you see that? He was going to interview himself this week.
That would be fantastic.
I want to interview
if it was Lamar asking questions and then Lamar answering questions.
Lamar, what do you think of these fools who say, well, right, Lamar, why do you represent yourself? Because why I got to give 3% to somebody to do what I'm doing already? Why do you think you should get $250 million guaranteed? Because I'm better than that guy who did. I mean, is that kind of how this is going to go? All right. There had been a hint, really, about – have you heard anything from Lamar? Like, everybody's talked about Lamar. Nobody's heard about Lamar, right? Or heard from Lamar. Have you heard anything?
No, it's just been people trying to interpret his Instagram post.
Yeah. Yeah. And his Instagram posts are like 2 words or an emoji and super cryptic. All right. So he went out the other night. He was down in South Florida. He went to see a Future concert. And he ran into a guy named Fats DeBarber. Have you heard of Fats DeBarber? Nor have I. His real name is Aaron Turk. Fats DeBarber's is. And so Fats DeBarber started rolling video, and he asked Lamar Jackson at this concert, when it's really loud, he said, are you going to return to Baltimore? And so near the end of this short video, and he put it up on his social media, and there's a zillion looks at it, you can hear Jackson say, it's happening. So he said, are you coming back? And Lamar said, it's happening. So all of a sudden, I guess it didn't go as viral if you guys haven't heard of Fats DeBarber and haven't seen the video yet. But all of a sudden, it's out there. And so Lamar's on video saying it's happening. He was asked if he's coming back. It's happening, and Lamar's back in Baltimore, and everybody feels good. However, don't celebrate yet. Because it turns out Lamar had no idea to what he was responding. He said it was so loud at the concert, quote, I didn't hear a word Fats DeBarber said. It was too loud. See what you started? That was on his Instagram. So even though he said it's happening, I'm coming back, Lamar got in his own Instagram and said, I didn't hear a word Fats DeBarber said. It was too loud. See what you started? That's all you got from Lamar, man. This is what people are jumping on. Some guy with a cell phone at a loud concert asking a question, and dude says it's happening, and all of a sudden, he's coming back. I want to see Lamar interview himself at some point. And I think it's happening this week.
And it'd be great if it was like between 2 Ferns style.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like a shot of Lamar sitting right here.
Kind of a Key and Peele look.
And then, he's dressed.
Yeah.
Like
2 different dress up.
His suit on, he's interviewing, and then Lamar himself.
Yep.
I'd love it. Like, why not, Lamar? Do it.
He's insanely unique. Give me somebody like Lamar. Right? We just talked about Cam Newton. And Cam Newton, if you missed this earlier, the former Heisman Trophy winner, former MVP, and Super Bowl quarterback, at 34 years old, is going to work out for the pros at Auburn's Pro Day this week with the college kids because he thinks he should be back in the league. He's different. Everybody's different, right? Aaron Rodgers is different. We've seen a dude represent himself, say so little, be really good, and because he's getting now that the Aaron Rodgers deal is relatively settled, although it's not because they still have to work out a deal. He's the focus now, right? He's the entire focus. He's the king domino right now before the draft, isn't he? Or is he not because nobody's putting in a bid? Have we ever seen anything like this guy? Somebody who represents himself, yields, quite a bit of power because he's the one movable piece now at the most important position in the sport. And he says so little. When have we seen somebody like this? representing himself.
Nothing like this.
Right?
Nothing. Where quarterback of his talent that still feels like there is more for him to give in the NFL. That's shown you he can play at the highest level. Yeah, there's the next steps. It's the postseason. We got it. But is there? Like someone could just go offer him a contract if they wanted to. And 2 first-round picks is scaring you away from Lamar Jackson.
Well, it's 2 first-round picks and what you're going to have to commit to sign him, right? I mean, well, but,
versus who you're going to draft at that pick.
Right.
Will Levis have fun?
I don't think it's only the 2 first-round picks. It's
if you can't figure out how to pay quarterback and win in the NFL, you will never win in the NFL.
I just don't think anybody's willing to give him $250 guaranteed.
Well, has anyone offered $200, $190? Has anyone tried that with Lamar?
I think the most I've heard is what Baltimore offered, like $160, $170, somewhere in that range, right? But no, to your point.
And I'm really interested to see what is the truth in the actual offer that is out there. Because it is really easy for
throwing numbers around.
Someone to text Adam Schefter and be like, dude, we offered him this deal. Did you? Because if I'm Lamar Jackson, remember that story that came out, it's like a week or 2 ago somewhere, and like the 200 number came out.
Yeah.
If I was Lamar Jackson and I hadn't been offered that, I'd immediately have picked up the phone and been like, so is this real? Because I'll take $200 million guaranteed.
Will he, though? Will he? If you were Lamar Jackson, you would. But will he? Because if I was, I would too. Right?
This is what we need to hear from Lamar. What offer has actually been put on it?
No, and that's why Lamar speaking is going to help a lot of this. You and I and A. Marie and everybody listening, yeah, you're going to guarantee me $200 million. Yeah, I'm in. But would he take, because he's been very vehement, at least we think he has, about wanting the $250 that Deshaun Watson got guaranteed. Because that threw the market completely out of whack. But it all comes from a video at a concert that some dude named Fats DeBarber took on his phone and posted. All right, next, Alabama's the school where a head coach said about a player who brought a gun to a scene and that gun was used by a teammate in an alleged murder. That coach said, I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, now a coach at that same school said there is no wrong place. There's no such thing as wrong place or wrong time. Who that coach is and why he suspended a player next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs.
Brandon Miller, the guy who might be the number 1 overall pick in the draft in the NBA. He's the All-America. By the way, JJ, I struggled where to put him on my Naismith vote. My ballot was due yesterday. I put him on, but I didn't put him at the top. Is that fair?
Yeah. There were players that had fantastic years to where that wasn't crazy that Brandon Miller would not be the national player of the year.
Yeah, I bumped him down quite a bit because he's a player who, and I don't even think it's alleged, right? I mean, he admitted he drove the car that had the gun, brought it to the scene where his now former teammate who's been arrested and charged with murder took the gun and allegedly shot a young lady, dead, a mother, 23-year-old young woman. And do you remember at the time the head coach of the basketball team said that, well, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And you're like, really? No suspensions, nothing at Alabama. Well, the same university, their football coach, Nick Saban, did suspend a player yesterday. Defensive back Tony Mitchell was suspended from the team. Allegedly, Mitchell was driving 141 miles per hour as he attempted to flee police in Florida last week. He did not flee them. He was arrested. There was an arrest report out. Mitchell and there was a passenger's vehicle, a guy named Christopher Lewis, were arrested by deputies in Holmes County. They were charged with possession of marijuana with intent to sell and or deliver. Lewis, the passenger, was also charged with carrying a concealed firearm without a permit. So yesterday, Alabama's football coach Nick Saban suspended Mitchell from the team and all team activities, quote, until we gather more information about the situation and what his legal circumstance is, end quote. All right, so a guy has a, now you're going to tell me the difference is, and you're not wrong, Tony Mitchell, the defensive back, the football player, was arrested, and Brandon Miller was not, right?
Yes.
The football player was charged with something. The basketball player was not. So you're right. Therein lies the difference. Okay. 226 grams of marijuana. That's under 8 ounces. So about $7,000 in cash in the vehicle as well. So Saban went out and said this, quote, everybody's got an opportunity to make choices and decisions. There's no such thing, and this is where it is. There's no such thing as being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You've got to be responsible for who you're with, who you're around, and what you do, who you associate yourself with, and the situations that you put yourself in. It is what it is, but there is cause and effect when you make choices and decisions that put you in bad situations, end quote. Look, this is a guy, the player, a former 4-star prospect, top 100 player. Nick Saban certainly can afford to say, I'm suspending a freshman defensive back, as opposed to Odom, the basketball coach, saying, I'm going to suspend my player of the year in a year that I have a chance to win a national championship. I understand the situations are different, but there's a lot of similarities there. And this is obviously Nick Saban taking a shot at his basketball coach with his choice of words, saying there is no such thing as being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Because for Nate Oates, you suspend that dude 2-3 games during SEC play.
That's what they should have done.
You move on.
And you're still where you are playing San Diego State in the Sweet 16. Yep.
And then you say, he wasn't charged with anything, but we still need to set a tone. We still need to know that players need to be responsible, accountable, examples. Coaches are scared to do that these days. And that's the problem, is because it wasn't even kicking him off the team. It was just sitting him for a few games. Like, dude, there's consequences for your action. And if you're scared, the dude is going to leave your program, let him leave.
He's leaving anyway after this season. He's going to the NBA. Right?
Like, coaches have to handle this. Everyone says, oh, it's business now. It's big business, this or that. Well, even in business, players get suspended if we're talking professional sports. Just the difference there is the head coaches and teams, they don't have to do it themselves. They have a commissioner. So you still have a responsibility as a college head coach to try to set some sort of a tone, man, of accountability and responsibility, even in this new era of college athletics. And we're just not seeing a lot of that across the board.
What if Nate Oates, the basketball coach at Alabama, would have said, we're suspending Brandon Miller, as you just said, and I suggested at the time, 3 games, which would have been the end of the conference season, right? He's going to be back, unless while we do an investigation for violating team rules or whatever. He will be back when we go into the SEC tournament and for postseason, but we're suspending him for 3 games for violating team rules. And would have said, quote, everyone's got an opportunity to make choices. There's no such thing as being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You've got to be responsible for who you're with, who you're around, and what you do, who you associate yourself with, and the situations that you put yourself in. It is what it is, but there is cause and effect when you make choices, and decisions that put you in bad situations, end quote. What if he would have said that?
Things would be a whole lot better for that team just in the national perspective right now than they are right now, because this would be very similar to the John Morant situation to me. Just kind of like Miller, like, bro, check yourself. Look at the opportunities that's in front of you. Even with your teammates, you got to understand there's got to be lines. And it's the same thing that we've seen this year with New Mexico State. Like, even with your teammates, even with the whole ride or die mentality, you got to look at yourself in your future too. What decisions are you making? And I'm on board with that. Now, it's a lot easier, as you said, for Nick Saban with everything that went down.
Well,
in
he's
that
suspended a
before.
freshman defensive back in his Alabama football.
They're not in season.
And your spring football, right.
But that report, you're like, oh, yeah, this is an easy suspension to put
Dude
out
was
there.
going 141 running away from the cops, had 28, what is it? How many grams of marijuana in there?
Oh, whatever.
$7,000 in cash, 226
But the
grams.
cash
of
and weapons probably what you're more worried
cash,
about than-
weapons, drugs.
than-
Well, no, it's intent to sell, man. It's not just he had a few joints. The
yeah.
intent to sell is an issue.
So, but it kind of just goes back to what level of accountability are you willing to have as a head coach? Because name, image, and likeness in the transfer portal should still not stop you from doing your job.
Doing the right thing. Look, the quote I read you was Saban's quote. And I'm acutely aware that the situations are different, but they're similar. I realize that Brandon Miller was not charged with any crime, and this young man, Tony Mitchell, was. I'm acutely aware that it's spring football and you're suspending a freshman defensive back on a loaded Alabama team, as opposed to talking about suspending the best player in college basketball or one of them. And you got a chance to win a national championship. I get it. But if you would have said 3 games and used that exact script that Nick Saban went by, you probably wouldn't have to have armed guards at press conferences with Brandon Miller now when he goes to the NCAA tournament, right?
Yeah.
This young man has armed guards because of the threats he's been getting on social media. Because of the arrogance with which Nate Oates handled this. And I know Greg Byrne a little bit, the athletic director at Alabama. We're not buddies. I know him a little bit. I worked with him, on a project. I like Greg Byrne a lot. Went to Comanche Elementary School right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Had the finest education. The way his 2 programs handled these situations are so significantly different. And it shows why Nick Saban is who Nick Saban is. And Nate Oates has a good basketball team, but he will never be thought of in that ilk, right?
It's a missed opportunity because you're not talking about with the facts that we knew at the time with Brandon Miller, with what we saw happen. Like, we knew he was still going to get the opportunity to play basketball, but it was a missed opportunity to set a tone. They let him off the hook because he's the best player on their team.
Yeah.
And arguably one of the best players in college basketball.
Same school, similar situation, handled by 2 different coaches in an insanely different manner. All right, 9 o'clock, Jordan Pacheco is going to be with us, the former Lobo baseball star, the former La Cueva star, former big leaguer. He's joining us from Arizona at spring training. ISOP's home opener is in 2 weeks from today. I'm going to get his take on what you can expect now. What kind of lineup, what kind of club does he think is starting to come together, and his views on the United States versus Japan in the World Baseball Final tonight. It's coming up at 9 o'clock right here on The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red.
Japan and the United States tonight, World Baseball Classic. Japan beat Mexico 6-5. This is going to be fun. I didn't think I'd be fired up to watch the final World Baseball Classic, but I kind of am.
Good timing.
Really good timing. And then baseball, look, it all starts next week. It all goes next week. Isotope's home opener is 2 weeks from today. They start on the road. And, I mean, we're right on. I was out at the ballpark yesterday with all the new stuff going in, and it's actually really, really kind of cool. You guys going Friday? Did you get the invite for the they're debuting all the new foods. Did you get that?
No.
Oh, you're not on that list?
Nope.
I guess you weren't invited. I don't mean, you should be. You want to come as my guest?
I mean, I would love to. That sounds like kind of my thing.
Or you can even go in my stead if you'd like. I'll turn you on to that. A week from Saturday, Topes will open up at Round Rock. And then 2 weeks from today, they're home against Salt Lake City on opening night. 6:35 against Salt Lake. So we're right on it. All right, you're in on the Lobos. This is kind of funny, but not really. Dean says, good morning, Jeff. Enough of the NFL and this conference stuff. You know, all we want to talk about was why J. Allen Tovar left. Ha, ha, ha. All BS aside, when is the college basketball transfer portal deadline? I can't seem to find the information. Maybe the morning team can help. Great job as always. It's from Dean. So, JJ, the portal is open now, right?
Yes, it is.
And the window, how long is the window open? I'll find it for you.
For a while?
Yeah, for a while. All right. It's open for, because all these teams that are still playing.
Teams that are playing.
Right.
Yeah. Does it really matter?
Kind of.
Deadline to enter would be what matters.
All right. So the transfer portal 2023. I'll find it for you. I'll get you that answer. I don't know when the deadline is. But I will find it for you. It goes on basically throughout the summer, though. I mean, you can go in. Guys go in and out whenever they want. You're gonna see stuff happening because what happens is somebody's going to be on a roster, think they're good, then all of a sudden somebody's going to come in and go, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. This is not right. Right? That guy's going to take my spot, and then they're going to go into the portal. I mean, J. Allen Tovar jumped in mid-season, right, and found a new home, right? 3 games into the season. So basically, man, it's always open. But I'll get you the exacts on it. All right, we're talking baseball. When we get back, former big leaguer Jordan Pacheco is going to be with us. Looking forward to catching up with the Isotopes hitting coach. He terrific big league career. Former Lobo, former La Cueva star. He'll be with us when we return from Arizona and spring training. Get an idea what will the roster look like as we're now inside of 2 weeks before it starts? And what does he think? And why should you watch the World Baseball Classic? Get a report from spring training next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
I'm Taylor Bishotti.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
With three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and J.J. Buck.
Baseball weather, huh? Cold, dreary rain. I know, but it's spring, so that means baseball weather. Major League Baseball opens up next week. Isotopes open up on the road a week from Saturday. Their home opener is 2 weeks from today out at Isotopes Park. And tonight you get the final of the World Baseball Classic. So, yeah, it's kind of – and baseball season is spring. It's that, okay, I'm putting away all my cold weather gear. It's time. I mean, unless you're down in Arizona and you've done that for a few weeks. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Get back to your phone calls a little bit. Going to talk some baseball and catch up with a good buddy of ours. And I know so many of you are a big fan of what Jordan Pacheco's done, the former La Cueva star, the All-American at the University of New Mexico, 6 years in Major League Baseball, and his current terrific career in Major League Baseball. And currently the hitting coach for the Albuquerque Isotopes. He joins us from spring training. Jordan Pacheco's on the opening drive. Good morning, JP. How you living?
I'm good. How are you, Jeff?
Yeah, we're really good. Appreciate you getting up early and spending some time with us. How's spring training been? How when you looked at the club and I don't know what you expected going into this, how's it been so far?
It's been good. I think there's been some guys who have come in ready to play, and I think have made a name for themselves, especially for this big league club. And I think they're making it tough on the front office and the coaches making decisions coming down to the wire. So I think it's been really good. I think it's been productive, and I'm excited to see how our team kind of shapes up over this next week or so.
Yeah, JJ said when I ask you, what's the team going to look like, he's going to say, I don't know yet. We don't know. But you've got to have a bit of an idea what the Isotopes roster is going to look like, don't you?
I wish I did.
Really?
You never know what they're thinking in the front office, the coaching staff, and obviously, hopefully everybody stays healthy this last week or so just before the season starts. But there's still guys that are fighting for a spot up there on the big league team, and they have a chance. And so we really don't know what it looks like right now.
All right. Jordan Pacheco.
Well, it's going to change 3 days into the season anyway. Jay.
And then 4, then 12.
100%.
Yeah. What's the number? Is it like 150 something roster moves, 170? It feels like every year you guys set a new mark going up and down from AAA to the big club.
Yeah, I hope it's not that much, but that's usually what happens. And guys get hurt, things happen, guys get moved, traded, and it gets crazy. It gets crazy during the season. So hopefully it's not too crazy, and the Rockies are doing well, the Isotopes are doing well, and we're all happy.
Jordan, what are the last couple of weeks of spring training like? When you mentioned the players are still fighting for spots, do you learn something about a player in those moments? Maybe things are getting tight, they think they might have an opportunity to make the big club. Like, you can see something later in spring training from some of these guys.
Yeah, that's exactly what you see, and I think especially for some of these young guys who are up there right now, it kind of gives them that first taste of pressure that they haven't really felt before. They get that big leagues pressure, they get the big lights, they got everybody watching them, and they're seeing how they perform under some stress. And yeah, you definitely learn a little bit more about each guy, and obviously, whether they play well or they play, they don't perform. It's always a learning process right here at the end of the year or end of the spring training for these guys. So yeah, you do learn a lot about them, and obviously we're trying to make these guys the best players they possibly can be and help this organization win. So yeah, it definitely shines some lights on some things that we probably wouldn't see until middle of the year.
How much do players learn in these moments? And, when you really just try to build chemistry with everyone, because as you said, when you break, there could be players going to the big leagues. There could be players going to Albuquerque, Hartford, but just trying to get to know as many people as possible. What is that time like?
It definitely starts at the beginning of spring training. We have, there's a lot of guys that are, like I said, that have a chance to make this club right now, and chemistry and culture is obviously a big thing. But you hopefully, especially between AAA and the big leagues, because there's a lot of moves, and those two levels need to be very, very similar in how we handle things and how we're talking to the guys, and as coaches, we need to create that to make sure that when guys go up and when guys go down, yeah, obviously the guys that come down aren't going to be happy, and obviously the guys that go up are going to be ecstatic because they're going playing the big leagues. But that's especially our job at AAA, is to just keep it as similar as we can to the big leagues, and keep it positive, and make sure that these guys know that, hey, even if you do come down, you're going to help this club at the big league level at some time again during this year, and that we're going to need you, and you got to get back to work, whether they sent you down because it was performance or whether it was because of just a roster move that had to be made. We got to keep this thing and the culture and everything with all these guys similar, and these guys positive, because it's a long season and we can't let these guys get down, and it's going to get tough, and there's going to be some losing streaks and there's going to be some winning streaks, and we just got to stay the course.
Perspective is so hard. Jordan Pacheco's with us, the former Lobo All-America, the former star at La Cueva, and 6 years in the big leagues. You've been doing this for a minute now. You got drafted in 2007 in the 9th round, and been in baseball ever since. You've been to spring training. You've been up. You've been down. Talk about the path and how your perspective helps you in everything you're just talking about. Because a year ago right now, you're going into your first year as a coach. And I'm kind of curious what you learned in these 365 days, how you're different now than maybe you were a year ago in your first year as a coach.
I definitely have a whole different perspective. I had a very thought out perspective of how going up and down and the feelings and the emotional side of this. and that was good. But I think what I really learned is I need to be a coach for these guys when they're going up and down, and I got to be a little hard on them sometimes, and they can't just be. I got to make sure that they snap out of it as fast as they can, because they need to help the big league club. And if they come down and they don't play well for 2 weeks because they're upset and they just feel that they've been, that it wasn't the right move, I that happened. And I think last year I was trying to be a little bit more buddy with them, and I understood the emotional side, and I was very empathetic towards them. But I also know that it's kind of like that parent that's hard on your kid. You gotta be strict with these guys sometimes, and you gotta show them that tough love, and you gotta make sure that, hey, this is the best thing for you. I gotta make sure, I do understand, but we gotta get you back to the big leagues, and this is how we're gonna do it. And I gotta make sure that I always have a plan for them. And when they come down, I'm already thinking, hey, this is how we're gonna get you back. This is what I got for you, and I think they're very responsive to that. And I think this year I'm going to do a better job of that, so that it's not a slow turnaround. I'm going to be very, I'm going to show a little more tough love for these guys.
Well, you've
when they
been
come
there.
down.
Was there one demotion or promotion that stands out in your career? Whether it was with the Rockies or with the Diamondbacks or with the Reds or wherever, was there a promotion or demotion that just stands out to you that was tougher to deal with?
I mean, obviously the first one's always great, getting called up. That's the one you always will remember. But you do remember the demotions getting sent down. Whether it's, I think there was one time in 2013, I just wasn't. I felt I wasn't getting enough playing time. I felt I wasn't getting treated fairly enough. All the things the player thinks about, and that was it. And you know what? It was just based on performance. It doesn't matter if you play every day. It doesn't matter if you play once a week. At that level, you got to perform. And so that one was tough for me because you're so young. You don't understand really about going up and down. And I think that's where most of these guys are when they're coming down. They've been the star their whole life, and all of a sudden maybe they're not playing, and they're being a bench guy, and they have to learn how to deal with that. And they have to learn, hey, I might be playing 2 or 3 times a week, but when I play those 2 or 3 times a week, I gotta bring it, I gotta come with it, and I gotta figure out how to do that if I want to stay in the big leagues, and then obviously get a chance to be a starter down the road. So that was kind of the tough one for me. Every time you get sent down, it's not fun. It's not fun.
Jordan, we had the opportunity to sit down and listen to Pedro Lopez, the manager this year for the Isotopes, talk about his journey, the way he handles things. And it was absolutely fascinating. And you're still a young man at 37, but he talked a lot about the locker room and culture, and how players might not be as together these days as they were in the past. How big of a thing is that for players to try to be together outside of just the time you spend in the dugout?
Yeah, I think it definitely has changed a little bit, and especially at the AAA level, it's tough because guys are getting shuffled up and down. There's just a lot of moves that are happening, and your team can change within, like you said, 3 days. Everything can change, and you're gonna have a whole new ball club just based on certain things that happen. And so, yeah, it definitely, I think, is getting tougher. There's just a lot of things that are changing in this game of baseball that when I was coming up that aren't the same. And we'll see. I do love Pilo in this role that he's in. He's been a very good mentor for me the last year, and he's taught me a lot about how to deal with players, and definitely these new younger players coming up in this game, and making sure that trying to get them in that thought process that it is team first. But we know that these guys individually, they want to get to the big leagues, and that's the goal. But if we can find a way to create that atmosphere for them when they come to the ball field every day that they enjoy, then hopefully that team chemistry and that culture takes care of itself, and and we can win, because everybody knows everything's funner when you're winning, and when you're losing, it's not fun. So that's obviously the main goal for us as a coaching staff.
Winning is fun, man, and at whatever level. He's Jordan Pacheco. Just a few more minutes with us, the Isotopes batting coach, former Lobo great, and 6-year big leaguer, and has come home to coach. And World Baseball Classic tonight, USA Japan final. I'm watching it. It's fun. What does the World Baseball Classic mean to guys in minor league, major league baseball? Is it resonating at all through spring training? Are guys gathering at night to watch it? And if it's a big deal, why is it a big deal? Why should people care?
I think it's awesome. I obviously got a chance to play for Team USA coming up a couple of times in high school, and then one time professionally. And there's just something about it, and especially this game is so mixed with different cultures, and especially it's just getting bigger, and it's just getting bigger across the world. So, man, it's for me, it's so fun to watch, and it's so fun to see guys who it gives you a taste. I've got the chance to play in the Dominican three winners, and the passion that they show for the game of baseball on a nightly basis, the fans, the players, it's just different. And it's something that I think the world needs to see, and especially here in the U.S. They play, this is their livelihood. This is what they do. Some of these kids wake up and that's their goal from 3 years old, when they can pick up a rock and throw it. And that's what these, you see it in these kids, these younger kids, especially. We have like a bunch of, kids in the DSL who play, and they come over here for spring training, and man, the passion and love that they show for this game that we kind of miss, and we kind of lose, I think, perspective of. I know I lost perspective of it, because it's about fun. It's about playing this game with passion. It's about playing this game for the love of it. And I know that's very cliche to say, but it's just, that's what this is showing for me. It's showing the world, like, this is what these guys do, and this is why they play the game. And I know they make a lot of money. I know, especially guys in the USA, they make a lot of money playing this game. But these guys truly love this game of baseball, and they would be playing it whether they're making no money or whether they're making $300 million. So I love it, and I hope the world can see that, how important it is to some of these guys, and especially for the baseball community. I think it's just great.
Great perspective. Hey, we're going to do that. I'm reaching out a bunch this baseball season, because I miss these conversations. Yeah, you're the best, and your perspective is so good, and it's kind of been fun watching you grow into this role. And so we're going to reach out to you, but appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. Great conversation. Enjoy the rest of spring training. I know it's a little rainy over there today, but
I know it is.
But we'll catch up with you soon, and be well. And
all right, sir.
All right, see you.
I appreciate it.
Take care, Jordan. Jordan Pacheco. He's terrific. I've watched that young man go literally, little leagues through La Cueva, through the Lobos, through the big leagues, and now assuming this role as a leader. And he's one of yours, man. He's a Porteño. He loves this place. And I thought that was really good perspective. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Win tickets to the Ty Murray Invitational at the Pit.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed.
Or you watch a game in Japan, it's much more like a football game than it is here, right? The fans, the cheering, what's going on in the stands, right?
Probably different.
Here, football's football. Baseball is just kind of a casual, and the crowd gets going at the right times, depending on the ballpark. But yeah, I thought his perspective was good. It was really good to catch up with him. And watching a guy, and next time we talk to him about what it means for him to be growing his coaching career in Albuquerque and being home and being with the Rockies organization that drafted him and actually they didn't draft him, but where he played, I thought was really cool. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Did you hear the maturation in him too? Right? What a first-year coach, and normally coaches will start at the lower levels, but a guy like him who started at AAA, the perspective of being the psychologist, the having to work with these guys when they're going up and down. When you're at single A and double A, you're not a little bit of double A, but not as much going to the big leagues or not. I think it's different going double A to single A, double A to triple A. But when you're going big leagues and down, the difference is, and he talked about the first time you get called up, wow, this is it. And then you get sent down, and he's got the story probably every big leaguer in his situation had, where they don't appreciate me. They're not using me enough. I'm not being used right. Why am I being sent up and down? I think he's a great guy to have that perspective and have those conversations with these young players.
Yeah, I love listening to Jordan Pacheco, Pedro Lopez, this year's staff for the Isotopes. They got fantastic perspectives, and it's unique experiences. Like Pedro Lopez talks about, like, he was never the best player.
Yeah.
He's not somebody out there who's a huge major league track record, but he's a grinder, and that definitely translates very well to making your way somewhere, to fighting your way through minor league baseball. And Jordan Pacheco, he's played in the big leagues, and he's had that taste of it, so he can work both perspectives and the mentality, the way they're thinking about the game, and just the slight changes to even look at something like, we're sitting here, well, what's the roster going to look like? Oh, you want to win games, you want to hit. And Pedro Lopez is like, dude, I want these guys to just sit on a couch for 30 minutes after a game. Like, things no one's thinking about, things no one's talking about, but it's all part of that process.
Yeah, Murray, we had an opportunity a couple of weeks ago to sit down at lunch with Pedro Lopez, the new manager, and his perspective was so good. JJ saying, he says, one of the things guys don't do, everybody scatters from the locker room after the game. He says, I want them to sit around for 30 minutes and enjoy each other and know each other, and just sit on the couch after the game and listen to music or watch the ball game or put on the Rockies or whatever, right? And JJ, I thought that was such a big piece of it, because you're 100%. When you think about a team, you never think about that, do you?
No.
You never think about, what are the guys doing after? Everybody's going their ways, and everybody hangs out in their cliques. Hang out in the locker room, hang out in the clubhouse for 30 minutes and do something together. And it was a different perspective. And I think, I don't know that you're going to see any more winning or not. It'd be fun to win around here, wouldn't it? It'd be fun to have them, competing for a flag at the end of this whole thing. It's been a long time since that franchise has been in the postseason. I think it'd be fun. But I think their perspective on it, where they're going on development, it's fascinating. You just listen to the stories of the guys who've been there, right? The guys who've been up and down, and Jordan's got so many stories, man, from playing in the DR, Dominican Republic, to all his ups and downs in minor league baseball. It's fascinating. So I think, and then going into the World Baseball Classic tonight, I love the perspective on it. I think it's terrific. By the way, I told you earlier, Shohei Ohtani not going to be available to pitch tonight for Japan. Well, the Angels say it's his call, and he may come out of the bullpen, Shohei Ohtani, in the final of the World Baseball Classic tonight. So he was one of the heroes yesterday, and now he may pitch the back end. I mean, is he like...
Sign me up. Late innings.
No doubt.
Post game, Shohei Ohtani pitching to Mike Trout.
Oh, is that good? It's the best of that.
That would be fantastic.
Yes. Quote, Ohtani, I will definitely be prepared to pitch wherever, but before that, I'm going to have to hit and make sure I put some runs on the board before I pitch. I mean, yes. Give me two of the best. How do they have two of the best players in the world and they're so bad? Well, honestly, and they got all that big market money. How have the Angels become the most irrelevant team in baseball? And I don't say that lightly. And they have two of the best players in the world. Who's more irrelevant than them?
They're not, because of Shohei Ohtani.
Okay, as a team, who's more irrelevant than them? The A's? Maybe. Who else? Pirates? Okay.
Yeah.
But one of them, the Mariners became way more relevant than them last year. The playoffs. Like, how are they?
Angels are relevant because of the talent they have, and they're not winning.
They have two dudes.
That's the problem. It's only two guys.
Two of the best players on the planet.
That's the game of baseball.
What have I told you about the number two teams in that market? The Clippers, the Angels, the Chargers. Now, the Ducks win more than the Kings sometimes. But am I wrong about this theory? Lakers, Dodgers, Rams are the number one team. The Kings are in that market, right? The number two teams are the Clippers, the Angels, right? The Chargers. It amazes me that you can have two of the best players in the world, not just in Major League, in the world. I mean, And that's where you're going. You can't sniff the playoffs. You're out of it by July. Every freaking year. Every year. All right, when we come back, this is a progressive move for Tampa Bay. Their new quarterback was introduced yesterday. Talks about the struggle and what's next and why he is going to be the difference. Is this guy, this first overall pick, replaces Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Why he's going to work? That's coming up next. 90% of all the information you get into your brain goes through your eyes. You realize that? 90% of what your brain gets goes through your eyes. So what if your eyes aren't working well? And like at high altitude like this, contact lenses don't perform all that well. Dr. Stephen Coleman at Coleman Vision specializes in treating astigmatism. He uses LASIK, has done it since 1998. I had a high degree of astigmatism. I didn't know what I had. I just went to see him because I was tired of glasses, tired of contacts. I was anchoring the morning news. I was just done struggling with all that mess. I went to see him. I got my LASIK 20 years ago. I remember the day. I anchored the news, went in, had surgery at 1 o'clock, opened my eyes, and immediately noticed, like literally the second I opened my eyes, I could see across the room. Immediately noticed the difference. It was life-changing. 20 years later, it is still life-changing. I wear reading glasses because as you get older, we're all going to need reading glasses, but I still drive without, I see across the room, across everything. It is still life-changing. How many things do you do that are life-changing? Dr. Stephen Coleman changed my life. He's the best. He helped with the technology that he uses. It's cutting edge. It's used here and all around the world. And that's why people come from everywhere to Coleman Vision to get their LASIK done. So you walk into that beautiful office over there on any given day, and the patients look like you and me. They range from doctors to lawyers to college kids to housewives to firefighters, policemen, nurses, whatever it is, who just are tired of dealing with lenses and glasses and want to see better. He will give you the lowdown and be truthful with you. I know people close to me went to Dr. Coleman and he said, honestly, what you have, you're not a candidate for LASIK. It's not going to work for you. He's not going to just perform something just to do it. That's why he's the best. If you're thinking about LASIK, if you're thinking about ditching the glasses and the lenses, and I strongly suggested it changed my life, there's only one place to go. It's Coleman Vision and Dr. Stephen Coleman, 505-821-8880. 505-821-8880, or you can go online and see what they're all about at colemanvision.com.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
It out.
Look at this deep three.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1. Gets up. Gets it in.
You know, as Baker Mayfield just wanders around the league, you know where my mind goes? The Progressive commercials. Like the people sit in the boardroom or the agency that have Progressive, because I think he's terrific on his commercials. How do they craft this? Do they even acknowledge the LA stop for 5 games or whatever? Do they set up shop in Tampa Bay?
Should.
How?
Keep going with their shtick. I don't know.
No, well, now they've got to set it up like his new home is Tampa Bay, right? That stadium, because it was a great campaign. The whole Baker Mayfield at home sitting around.
It was funny with his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was really good. Now, I don't know if he's helping sell anything now. He's on his 4th team already. Baker Mayfield introduces the replacement for Tom Brady.
A bit of a challenge.
All right, so let's go back to the conversation we had the other day. Actually, was this yesterday? Marie?
JJ missed it.
Yeah, well, we had a couple conversations yesterday. Yeah, one was, would you rather your alma mater win an NCAA championship in basketball or your football team win a Super Bowl? And then the other one was, we get back to this whole, would you sacrifice 4 or 5 crummy
The
seasons?
NCAA tournament is the greatest thing in sports. I agree with you guys on that.
You do, right? A. Marie's not there yet. Yeah, you agree with me.
Not the greatest thing, but
It is the greatest sporting event.
Yeah,
there.
he and I are, and we didn't even rehearse this one. We're on the same page with that.
Didn't. Okay.
Well, I was listening.
We didn't.
I was listening to you guys.
Were you?
In the Sacramento airport yesterday.
Nice. Yeah. No, I know you and I, Amory, disagree on that, and a lot of people were on your side. And I think this one was split. I know your social media was completely on your side. People were going, I was shaking my head, and how can you have this conversation?
There was a lot of mix, though, because it wasn't just on social media. There's DMs and whatnot. It's half and half.
Yeah, I think it was.
I just look at it just because there's nothing like it, so it's hard to compare because you get 12 hours of unbelievable
2 days of it,
emotions back to back. And so that's tougher to compare to than you could get 2 really good NFL playoff games that were fantastic. You keep thinking back to the weekend last year.
Yeah, that one Sunday where the Bills came back on the Chiefs.
So
the
there's
Chiefs
moments.
came back on the Bills. Yeah, I will contend, and it's what do you love, and I love both. But I think the NCAA tournament's the best sporting event we
get
got.
So many people in on the action, not just there to watch the halftime show or the commercials. It's like there's.
Everybody cares about
my wife on Wednesday night is like, "Where's my bracket?"
Super Bowl.
That's not right. Everybody cares about watching it. How many people gave a damn who played in the Super Bowl? Chiefs and the
Eagles.
All right. How many people cared or wanted to see Rihanna?
Yeah, but who cares about like 16? They fall in love with those schools, but what? No one cares about. I don't agree with
It's
you.
not that it doesn't care about the Super Bowl. There's people have vested interest in the NCAA tournament because they pick a bracket.
That's right. No, that's right.
They don't care who wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's
They're
part of the
watching as part of the party.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody goes to a Super Bowl party. Yeah. But everybody's got it
for 4 days, even if it's just 4 days.
Yeah.
My wife cares about college basketball.
Everybody gave a damn about
she wants
Princeton,
to try to beat
Arizona.
me in a bracket.
Yeah, Princeton, Arizona. Everybody gave a damn. Everybody. Anyway.
And you're right. Everything is good, but it's hard to compare a one-off game versus those just 2 days where you're just immersed in so much.
Yeah, I know we disagree, but I don't know that it's like such this odd what? Like, how can you see? I mean, it's Princeton beat Arizona, and everybody was on one side. Hi, at Princeton, I told you.
I'm not odd. I just don't agree with you, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, I know it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're like,
All right,
huh? Like, your response was like, how can you even think that way? And I'm like, well,
just how you feel that way.
Yeah.
All right, then.
The other conversation was, would you sacrifice? How do you feel about winning a Super Bowl, getting that 1 year, and then kind of going in the tank for 4 or 5 years, right? Like the Rams feel like they're going to do, like the Buccaneers kind of feel like they're going to do, right? And that's where they are. You replace Tom Brady with Baker Mayfield. You're a Buccaneer fan. How you feeling?
You understand the reality of the situation. Like, it's exactly what
you got your Super
Bowl. The Rams are going through.
Yeah. Right.
I'd be happy.
Yeah. I think
Baker's not the worst option.
No, he's not. But I mean, there's not that many.
You get it. You go from
you're just like
Tom Brady is your quarterback. You have
and they'll figure out the future.
Super Bowl expectations to going well. Baker Mayfield is going to compete, and will be hopefully drafting a quarterback high in next year's draft.
And can we make in this division? Can we get to a wild card? Right?
Might not even want to do that. at this point in time if you're Tampa Bay.
Kind of. I mean, if you're not going to convince the players or the coaches. That you
No,
should do that.
but from a fan standpoint,
Yeah.
you're looking forward to the future. It ain't Baker Mayfield.
It's not how I drew up my career by any means. If I was to tell you how it would go based on a plan, I wouldn't have said I'd put on 3 different uniforms in the year 2022, and that's how it happens. This is Baker Mayfield. You've got to learn from it, roll with the punches, trust in God's plan, but I've grown a lot. I appreciate all the things that have happened throughout my journey. It's helped me get here today. I want to play this as long as I can, so I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, end quote. You know, I've told you this over the years. I like watching players mature. I like watching people mature over their careers, right? We talked a lot when we had the Kobe conversations, how it was so cool watching him mature. Shaquille, right? Mature. Even LeBron. I think Baker's going to go through that process. Now, I don't know if he's going to get any better. I don't know if maturing helps you get any better. I think it can, because I think you can accept situations better. It's like Cam right now thinking he should be something that he's not. Is he matured? I don't know that he has or has not. But maturing is accepting the reality outside of just your prism, right? Stepping outside of your little bubble and realizing what's going on from a different perspective. It's part of the maturation process. And it's going to be interesting to watch this. All right, so you want to talk about the Sweet 16. JD, what's up? You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, JD.
Good morning. So I pulled out the preseason poll just to see how many teams from the 16 made it. And there were 5 teams in the Sweet 16 that were in the preseason 16. San Diego State and Alabama were number 19 and 20, so they were still in the top 25. Now, obviously, Princeton and FAU were not anywhere near it.
Right.
The other remaining teams, everybody was in the top 40. So it really hasn't been any major surprises other than Princeton or FAU. So I thought that was interesting. And then I saw something today that St. Francis of Brooklyn has canceled all athletics. They play in a very small conference.
Yeah.
But what I did know is that they were one of the 4 original NCAA
You
members.
just ruined my tease, JD. Yes, that's where we're going in the next segment. Yes, and we're going to get into why they shut it down and why I don't think that'll be a trend. But yes, that literally happened this morning. Yes.
Yeah, and I thought if you had asked me who the 4 original members were, I would not have guessed any one of those schools probably.
You didn't tell me who the other ones were, did you? Don't. I'm going to tell you that coming up next.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
man. Guys. Enjoy the rain. Have a good day.
Look, I even wrote it
He read
down,
your
man.
mind.
I
He
wrote
read
my. No, he's got a camera here.
I know. He read your
my
mind.
tease.
Hey, he had good timing when calling.
Yeah, no, that's good. He's not wrong on the big surprises. Although, I don't know how many of you had Florida Atlantic when the season started. Like if you look at the Midwest, you have a 1, 2, 3, and 5. If you look at the South bracket, you have a 1, 5, 6, and 15. East 3, 4, 7, 9.
And this is also what works out with sports fans is they say they get tired of winners and the best and this or that. They don't. And so the NCAA tournament, it gives you enough of the unbelievable
and the best
that you get on the first weekend.
Yeah.
And then what you expect to see at the end.
And I still love to see one of those surprises go through to the end, right? The year that you get a George Mason or you get a Butler before they were Butler, right? The Gordon Hayward year where they damn near beat Duke. Like I love that. And I'm good with seeing the greatest. And look, you've got 2 1 seeds left. You've got 2 2 seeds left. You've got 4 3 seeds left. Yeah. Are there any surprises? I don't know. How many of you had Miami at the beginning of the year getting to the Sweet 16? Or Creighton or Princeton or Florida Atlantic or Tennessee?
To his point, the rest were essentially top 40 teams. So.
Yeah. Was Florida Atlantic?
No, that's what he said.
Yeah. Florida Atlantic and Princeton. All right. Coming up next, I was going to tell you about a Division I program that's dropping sports and why. He kind of told you that, but we're going to get into why and why I don't think it is going to be a trend. And do you know who? Well, you can look it up, but I'm going to tell you. You're driving. Don't look it up. They're one of the first teams to ever make the NCAA tournament. One of the 4 original Division I teams to make the NCAA tournament. dropping not just basketball, all sports. Why? And I don't think this will be a trend. That's coming up next.
And I got to keep telling you about the events that keep getting better and better at 377 Brewery. I have your go-to brunch spot. It's every Sunday from 9 to 1. It includes your breakfast favorites, and they have a mimosa and Bloody Mary bar. It's family-friendly. It's pet-friendly. Spring is about to happen. They have a beautiful outdoor patio that you're going to enjoy. So come try out 377 Brewery's new brunch. It's going to be amazing. It's your family brewery. Stop by on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, or check them out at 377brewery.com.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, was stolen away again by Valdez going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul called. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Wants to back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh,
Wow.
he made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Denaclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
St. Francis today has announced that they are cutting all their college athletics after this season. Kind of crazy. They were one of the, as the caller just told you, one of the 4 original Division I teams to ever make the NCAA tournament. It's 1948. Do you have any idea who the other 4 NCAA basketball teams in that first NCAA tournament were? Any idea? Because I would have got any of them. Let me just tell you. I'll tell you.
I don't know.
St. Francis? How would this work on TV today? All right, here's your final 4. St. Francis, Army, William and Mary, and the Citadel. How's your bracket look? Last time they were there was 2015. They failed to qualify. They lost to or their last shot at the tournament. They were in the Northeast Conference. That's the same one that Fairleigh Dickinson's in. They lost to Robert Morris in the championship. Their women's team made the tournament in 2015, but lost to UConn 89-33 in the first round. So why are they doing this? Well, it's money. And here's why I don't think this is going to be a trend. I think that most universities, and this is maybe not void of them, realize the value of athletics. Did you see all the stories? And it came out this week about when Florida Gulf Coast reached the Sweet 16, their applications went up 28%. And when Butler reached their first one, applications to the university went up 50%. And all of those application increase stories, you saw those, right?
Yeah.
That's why. That's why they're not going to do this. Now, the athletic director basically said as we continue this, well, now let me read you more. So the chair of their board of trustees, why they're doing it. We want to acknowledge that SFC, St. Francis College, has a rich legacy in competitive athletics and are proud of our Terriers today and in all years past. This difficult decision was guided by a commitment to preserving the college's 164-year Franciscan mission to provide a high-quality and affordable education to working-class and first-generation students. They cited, since COVID ended, since COVID, the incredible and indelible impact on St. Francis College, and as a result, all their teams will be cut. They said that enrollment has peaked, revenue streams have dried up, and they just flat out can't afford to do it anymore. 19 sports. They're going to honor all the scholarships. It's a bummer, but JJ, I just do not see it being a trend. Do you?
No, I don't see a trend coming out of this.
So while this will grab headlines today, and I do think you're going to hear about it in a lot of different places, and I think it'll sound alarms. I just don't think it's a trend. Now, you may see more, and you have quietly, when it's not in your market, programs, specific programs within athletic programs being cut. For instance, a soccer team or a women's, mostly men's programs, but a soccer team or a golf team, or right, those things. We've seen that not just in New Mexico, not just here, but JJ, you and I have watched this over the last 5, 6, 7 years on a regular basis. Athletic departments cutting programs, right?
Yes.
Whether it was for economic reasons, whether it was for Title IX reasons, whatever it is. But again, I don't see this as being any sort of a trend, but you'll see that today, and give some thought to it. All right, you're in on the Jordan Pacheco conversation. We had a good conversation with Isotopes batting coach, former big leaguer, former Lobo, former La Cueva star, Jordan Pacheco. A-Marie's already posted it for you wherever it is that you want to go get your podcast. It's up for you. It was actually really good. Sid's back in. The Dukes are all we have, he says. Mr. Symbieta, the money black hole called Lobo Athletics, showed once again this season that they are a long, long way from ever winning any championship in any sports that matters. We got 45 years of wetting the bed to prove that. And while it's nice the Slam and the Gladiators win a belt, those clubs don't have a tradition to make it meaningful, nor do they have the track record of being around long enough to build a tradition. So until Commissioner Pete Rozelle, or whoever's in charge now, announces the New Mexico monsoon expansion in the NFL, the Dukes are all we have. Competing at the highest level of their league should be of the utmost importance to the team honchos and local sports fans. And since it hasn't been, can you see why I was so frustrated? Why I jumped off the bandwagon? It's from Sid. So, Sid, I will see why you're frustrated because that's what you care most about, right? You're a baseball guy. You loved the days of the Dukes when they were winning championships, and the Isotopes are not. So, yeah, I see why you're that frustrated. Yes. It's been a minute since we heard from Sid. We rang the Sid bell today with a little baseball. Gene's in on the Albuquerque AAA franchise. Jeff, for them to get off to a good start, it's important. If you begin 1-6, 2-8 again, seems like you're spending all summer trying to get back to 500. Okay. Gus said, remember how Vic Schaefer, he's referring to the former manager of the Isotopes, was going to come on the OD regularly, Jeff? That works as long as the team's winning. Lose a few and these guys go MIA. No, I think Jordan will be there whenever we want him. I think Pilo will be there as well, too, whenever we want to talk to him. What I'm hoping, Amory, is morning shows aren't conducive for baseball players. The baseball player's life is to get out of bed about 10 o'clock, right? Get out of the ballpark about 11, 11:30. Yeah. But they play a lot of day games, and I'm hoping to do something when we have day games to get a player on, to get the skipper on.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be the intent. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm more interested in talking with the new defensive coordinator, Jeff. Last year, the problem was an offense with the Isotopes. They just couldn't guard anyone. We got to get the pitching coach on. San Jose State's out of the CBI. JJ, they lost to Radford. Jeremy says after losing to mighty Radford in the CBI, Jeffy, Aztecs are the last hope for the Mountain West. That's correct. San Jose State had a hell of a run, didn't they?
Yeah.
Hey, how you feeling if you're, one of the few fans that they have? You feel good, right? Now you're just trying to hold on to your coach? Kind of where that is? Bourne says NCAA/bowl hot take. Jeff, I actually like the prior week. Conference tournaments the best. When Lobo fans are talking about being the first team ever to make the playoffs breaking from the 6 hole. It's from Bourne. It's the beauty of this, Amory. You can like what you like. You think the NFL playoffs are the greatest thing ever, and that's not the wrong answer. I think the NCAA tournament is the best thing we got. It's not the wrong answer. Bourne thinks the conference tournaments are the best thing we got. Is that the wrong answer?
Nope, not at all.
It's the beauty of this, man. Love what you love. Not sure there's a wrong answer. Somebody's going to tell you Wimbledon's the best thing we got going. U.S. Open, have you ever been to it? It's the greatest thing. Tennis, it's the greatest. Okay. All right. Coaching news. We got some movement this morning. Iona's got an opening. JJ, did you hear about that? Rick Pitino left?
Yeah, I heard about that.
See who they're targeting to replace him? Farley Dickinson's coach, Tobin Anderson. That's how that works, man. Move up from Jersey up to Iona.
I think they could do a little bit better than that.
That's who they're targeting, man. Look, you win one game. Yeah. Look what Andy Enfield played that Florida Gulf Coast, and that was 2 games. He went to the Sweet 16. He's been at SC for 10 years.
Difference with FDU, they were 300s in their rankings.
Yeah, they played the worst non-conference, the worst schedule.
Amazing run.
Yeah.
But I still don't know if that'd be the first dude if I'm Iona. Like, that he's going to pick up where Rick Pitino left.
According to ESPN, that he is the top target at Iona. He was 1 year at FDU. They won that game. So Nate Odom is the coach at Utah State, right? Isn't that the guy? What Utah State's coach? He was the guy at UMBC when UMBC.
Ryan Odom.
Right. Okay, my bad. You're right. Ryan Odom. That's why you looked at me like that. I understand.
Like Nate Oates?
No, my bad. Ryan Odom, head coach at Utah State. Yeah. He got that job because he engineered the UMBC win. The first 16 over 1. They beat Virginia. A little coaching news this morning. If you missed it earlier, there's a lot of noise coming out of Las Cruces this morning, and that people who are following New Mexico State saying that Jason Hooten, the head coach at Sam Houston State, is the leading candidate, and it could be done anytime. And for the New Mexico State job, what I do know is that Hooten looks to be the primary candidate. I got this from really reliable stuff. But there are other candidates with interest. mutual interest with whom New Mexico State is talking. They hope it's going to be wrapped up soon, but confirmation that, yeah, he is a primary candidate. Thanks to Jordan Pacheco. He was with us today. Jim Rome Show is next. Heard from Colin Cowards after that. 2 Minute On comes your way at 4. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Hey, Marie, great work.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Adrian, great work on the video side. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?